From here on, nothing goes down unless I'm involved. No blackjack, no dope deals, no nothing. A nickel bag gets sold in the park. I want in.
Yes. It's your gracious host, Mr. VDB, back once again to kick a little game, kick a little flavor for all my young DBs out there. I know some of y'all gonna be surprised. You like, Mr. VDB, I thought you were gone for a minute. No. I told you this year we're gonna be consistent. I'm gonna stay locked in and focused with you guys. I'm determined to elevate my young DBs out there on the mental game. I know a lot of you are physically talented, but I'm determined to elevate your mental skills. So, I said, man, let me give these young brothers another defensive back T-state. I hit you with the Travis Hunter last time. This time I'm gonna hit you with another young DB, excellent DB. I would argue that he possibly is a better defensive back than Travis Hunter, based off technique, based off talent, all the way around the board, and that is Will Johnson out of the University of Michigan. Some of my northern people, you might know him already. Very talented cornerback out the University of Michigan. Was a freshman All-American last year. This year I know he was all Big Ten, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe he was an All-American, at least honorable mention. But nonetheless, a great defensive back, plays with good technique, very sound, and just a ball hawk when the ball is in the air. So with that being said, let's get right into it and break down this T-state. So as you can see, we got Will Johnson lined up in the top of the screen. This is his freshman year in the Big Ten Championship versus Purdue. And again, when we come to the line, guys, the first thing we got to understand is positions of power. What is our position of power? He looks to be inside shade. Okay, so he looks to be trying to take away the inside. He looks to be trying to take away the inside, guys. He's in press man position. Now, one thing I want to tighten up, if we're going to tweak it a little bit, guys, I always tell you guys, when you're in press man, ask the ref, hey, ref, am I offsides? That's how close you should be to the line. When the receivers have a habit of going to the ref, making sure they're on sides. You make sure you do the same thing. I don't like giving receivers this little gap. He's about a yard back off the line of scrimmage. Okay? And this is going to kind of put him in a little funny position because he inches back off rip from the start. So let's go ahead and play the video. Positions of power. Now, great job of firing his feet, inching back, being very patient at the line. Very patient at the line. Let me play that again. Inch back, very patient at the line. But right when the receiver makes his break, if he was already on that line when he started inching back, he would be in perfect hand position to go ahead and shoot that jab. Shoot that jab. Let's get some hands on him off rip. Okay? He's kind of a little too far back where he's almost not pressing. He's just kind of shadowing him at this point. You see what I'm saying? Now, nonetheless, good inch back. Now, one of the things I want you guys to work like clockwork. When you go out on the field, guys, before you warm up, everybody does the W drill, X, Y, and Z. I want you to do some shuffles, okay? I want you to put out 4 cones, create a box, and just shuffle for 15 straight minutes. I want you to get in the habit of shuffling into the receiver. Shuffle into the receiver. So when you're getting to that hip, when you're about to make your press, shuffle into him. Do not cross over. Do not cross over. Now he's going to give me a little mini kick. He tries it. He gives me a little mini kick, but he ends up crossing over as well. Okay? And the reason why I tell you to get a shuffle in, because when you're shuffled, that means you're still square. Therefore, when you put hands on this receiver, you have some power, guys. Okay? I want you to think of yourself out there. When you impress man, guys, I want you to think of yourself like a boxer. Okay? Boxers will tell you the power is in their legs. Boxers do a lot of leg work. The hands get all the glory, but the power is in the legs. You want to be square. You got to hit somebody square. When you're pressing him with your base off like this, you're crossed over. That has no power. That has no power, guys. Nonetheless, we're DBs. We're some of the baddest men on the field. So sometimes this is going to happen. You're going to cross over. The next step, I always tell you guys, number 1, after you get out that 5-yard box, that phase and jamming, is get to the hip. Now he crosses over, but he still gets to the hip. He still gets his hands on the hip, and he's in pretty damn good position. So he gets to the hip. Now he locates the ball. Okay? He locates the ball, guys, and now just make a play. Go make a play. And this is where Will Johnson stands out. Excellent ball skills. I mean, the receiver, I don't even think the receiver saw the ball. Will Johnson went to go get it. Great job. Okay. Still little things we can clean up. Little things we can clean up. And I know some of you guys are saying, oh, you're nitpicking. You got an interception on that play. Guys, when you go against, we don't even know who this receiver is. When you go against elite receivers, elite quarterbacks, they're going to make a better ball than that. Okay. Every little inch matters. Every little shuffle matters. Nonetheless, we understand you're not going to be perfect on every play, but a great job of at least getting to the hip, locating the ball, and making the play. Great job by Will Johnson again. Let me play it one more time, though. So again, inch back off the line. We want to get me one shuffle into the receiver. Okay? At least give me one shuffle into this receiver. That means shuffle, then get your hands on him. Shuffle, then get your hands on him. I'm going to continue to say that, guys. Okay? We don't want to get in the habit of crossing over into the receiver. Because we get our base off, we have no power. We start leaning every which direction, and we get off. Okay? Our equilibrium gets off. But nonetheless, if this happens, your next goal is getting to the hip, which he does. He keeps those hands low. That's another trick as well. Some of you guys get too high and you start tugging on the shoulder pads, and that's why you get holdings and flags. Keep those hands real low right on the hip area. We used to call it tucking in his shirt. So make sure you tuck in his shirt. Great job keeping it low, tucks in his shirt, and actually swings himself into position, locates the ball, and makes a play. Great job by Will Johnson on that play. Great job by Will. All right, now this is a technique run by Will Johnson. I always say this is the hardest technique to run in college. Here's Will Johnson at the top of the screen. He's going to call what we used to call catch man. Catch man, to me, is the most difficult coverage for a young DB to play because essentially you have to have balls of steel, okay? And you have to stay square because what happens in catch man, and I'm going to play this, as soon as the ball snaps, you're just going to squat. Squat and fire your feet. You're not backpedaling. You're not moving. And if you're a young, inexperienced DB, it's going to feel like this guy's going to fly past me. He's going to fly past me. So when you're playing catch man, I like to tell young DBs this. I almost want you to envision like you're about to make a tackle. You're shuffling, you're mirroring this guy like you're about to make a tackle. Okay? And whatever way he goes, you want to get your head across him. That's how I was taught. Get your head across. Get your head across. So if he comes out, breaks this way, you want to make sure your head is across his body. Shuffle into him, get your head across. If he breaks this way, shuffle into him, get your head across. Almost like a tackle. But let me play. So here's Will Johnson right here playing catch man. As you can see, very flat-footed. But look at the shuffle. Beautiful. Look at the shuffle. He doesn't start opening up the gate. He doesn't panic. He's shuffling. Shuffling. Read that route. He makes that break. Because he's square, he's got the power, guys. When you are square at DB, you have power. You can break on the ball like none other. So he stayed square, recognized the route as a slant route, and again, go get it. Go get it. Go get it. He was the receiver on that play. Let me play it again. So he stays square at the line, shuffles, break. Shuffle, break. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Way to play catch man. Now that's a fairly easier route to pick up on the slant. Nonetheless, you'll be surprised how many DBs off rip start to open up the gate because they're nervous. They don't like being flat-footed. Okay? Receivers are afraid of contact, guys. When you're square, you scare the hell out of receivers because they're like, okay, why is he not opening up? I'm going to run into him. That's what we want. Stay square at the line. Let me play that again. Stay square, shuffles. As you can see, the receiver comes off, he stems a little bit, and he didn't open up the gate. He didn't start to turn his body. He just shuffled. Let me play that again. Now watch the receiver come off the line. He's going to do a little quick little stem in here. He's going to come in a little bit, try to set him up. Okay, because Will is already inside, so he was trying to get on the inside. Receivers try to be smooth. They'll try to stem, and if you don't shuffle with them, you'll end up giving up your positions of power, which was inside position, something I always tell you guys to know off rip. But what this Will does, he said, okay, I'll shuffle too. Gets in, he takes that shuffle right with his stem, and it puts him in perfect position. He beat the receiver to the ball. Beautiful play by Will Johnson and catch man. Okay, here we have Will Johnson, top of the screen. Everybody knows who this is. This is Maserati Marv, okay? One of the baddest receivers in the country, Heisman Trophy finalist, just a bad brother out there, receiver for Ohio State. These are the players where technique really matters, because many times they're already faster than you or more athletic than you, or just as fast and just athletic. So it's a game of inches. So here we see Will Johnson. He's in catch man. Now he's in catch man what it looks like a little peek. Okay, so what he's peeking, he's looking in here. And this is where the mental part of the game comes in. He's looking and trying to recognize, okay, he's kind of looking at the quarterback, and we were taught to look at drops. Now he's in the shotgun. So if the quarterback comes out and he really doesn't drop, he just snaps the ball and turns his head, we thinking quick game. But this is something that happens in a split second, guys. It's something that happens in a split second. So again, knowing your positions of power, he looks to be inside shade. He's playing catch man. So he looks inside shade. Boom, ball is snapped. Okay, ball is snapped. He sees a play fake, so he gets right back to it. We don't have time to keep looking at him. We see a play fake, but again, he's in great position. See how he's still perfectly square. And this is Marvin Harrison Jr. Okay, somebody who's extremely fast, but he's still perfectly square. Stay keeps his inside leverage, position of power, doesn't open up, doesn't give him any leverage, and now he has the power to win. Boom, interception. I'm telling you guys, if you master catch technique, you're going to be a monster. If you master catch technique, you're going to be a monster. Let me play that back again. So again, understand the position of power. He's inside leverage. Inside leverage. That means we taking away everything inside. Okay? Square at the line. Boom, ball is snapped. He stays square. Look at how square he is, guys. Stays square. Keeps his inside leverage, starts to shuffle to the inside, and because he shuffles, hold on, because watch this little mini shuffle he gives him. Okay, when he's almost losing his leverage on the inside. Watch where he starts and he kind of shuffles to right here. He stays square and he shuffles. He's in perfect position. Look at those shuffles. Stays square, and he's got the inside game. He's got his position of power. He's owning that real estate, and then he makes the play. Okay, Marvin Harrison Jr. had no chance on that play. No chance. That is our domain. Okay, when we understand our positions of power, whether it's outside leverage, inside leverage, that's our domain. That's our domain, guys. Great job. But it's the little things, like I say, staying square. If he had opened up, if he had, been afraid of his speed, thinking he's going to run past him, okay, and opened up that gate, Marvin Harrison would have been able to slip inside and possibly get in front of him, shield him for a quick 5-yard gain on the slant. But he didn't. He stayed square, kept his positions of power, and he was able to make a break on the ball because he owned that real estate from practicing good technique. Okay, here we have Will Johnson again versus Marvin Harrison Jr., Maserati Marv, in the slot playing catch technique again. Okay, playing catch technique again. Now, what you're about to see, this is one of the hardest routes to guard, guys. This is the route that is most difficult to guard when you're playing nickel corner, which some of you're going to be bad DBs at the next level. And when you're the best DB like Will Johnson is, you follow the receiver everywhere. So it's one thing to play outside, okay, to play this outside receiver. It's another thing to play the slot, because the slot has a lot of room to work. This is where technique really matters. The slot has a lot of room to work. So as you can see, the number one threat for that nickel corner is what we call a sail route. Okay, some people call it a pylon route, because what he's going to do, he's going to come off and he's going to fade. And there's so much room to fade. You have to be on him like white on rice. Okay, you have to be on him like white on rice, because if you give him any little space, the quarterback has all this room to give his receiver to make a play. Okay, so this is a sail route. Now he's going to run some quick game, but the goal is to get Maserati Marv out here in open space. So Will is playing catch technique. Now, I want you guys, I'm going to just play it and see if you recognize the mistake. Okay, let's play it back. Okay, yeah, I know you guys already saw some of the mistake because you've been watching Mr. VDB's teach tape. You've been writing notes. You've been paying attention. Now, again, he's playing the catch man technique. He comes off the ball. This is why I tell you guys to stay square. Great job of keeping his outside leverage. But right here, what does he do? Watch the feet. He crosses. Give me one shuffle, guys. You have no power when you cross. When he crossed, as soon as he crossed those feet over, boom, right there, Marvin now has the advantage. And some of you are thinking, well, he's in pretty good position. He's in pretty good position, but he has no power because his base is off. He's off balance. So now that little press, that little hand doesn't matter. Now he can kind of just knock that off. Okay? Also, when you cross over, guys, you give him more room. When you, I'm telling you, watch the film. When you shuffle to the receiver, just one shuffle into the receiver's hip, one shuffle into that hip, okay? You'll be surprised how far that widens a receiver, how that cuts down his real estate. He crosses over. Now, as you can see, he's got this space between him and his hip. He's got the space, and he never gets back to the hip. He never gets back to the hip because Marvin stutter fade. He stutter fade, and he makes the catch. Okay? It's the little things, guys. It's the little things, guys, and I'm sure his DB coach told him the same thing. I'm sure when they're breaking down film study, guys, I pretty much guarantee you his DB coach told him the same thing. Okay? That crossover cost him yards. You be patient at the line. Right when he determines, okay, guys, give me one shuffle. If he stays square and gets a good shuffle in, he's in perfect position. That squareness is going to put you automatically on his hip like a magnet. It's going to put you into his body. It's also going to give you a position of power on him to where you're in his chest. You have more control over the receiver then. It's almost like he's running into you. That's what I say. That's why I say, guys, when you're in this position, almost envision this like a tackle. Like you're trying to make a tackle. Don't tackle him, of course, because that's holding. But you're almost mirroring him like you're getting ready to make a tackle. No coach tells you to cross over when you make a tackle. What do they always say? Stay square, get your head across. Stay square, get your head across when you're going in to make a tackle. Nobody says cross over and get your head and don't get your head outside. Put your head on the inside. I've never heard any type of coach tell you that when tackling. Okay? So right here, like I say, stay square. Give me one shuffle. One shuffle. Don't cross over. You're putting yourself at a position, disposition when you cross over. He crossed over and he turned it into a cat and mouse game. You see, he had no power and he's trying to get to the hip, but again, you're fading. You left him so much room to fade. I mean, that's a lot of ground to cover, guys. Again, this is a difficult route to cover, but it can be covered. Okay, it has to be covered with good technique, and that starts with staying square at the line, giving one good shuffle, not crossing over into the receiver, but shuffling into the receiver, getting to that hip, tucking in his shirt, pulling that shirt down, or getting to that hip, pulling his shirt, tucking his shirt into his body, and then locating the ball outside in. Again, locate the ball outside in, okay, because that was a back shoulder play. So you always want to look outside in. Okay. And he's in decent position, but again, because he crossed over, he doesn't feel comfortable looking back. Because he's not to the hip. Which is actually, I would recommend that. If you're not on the hip, don't start looking back for the ball. We want to get to the hip, we want to apply pressure to the point of pressure, which is the hip, tuck in that shirt. Then we want to look back. Okay, because then you have a good feel for where your receiver is. Alright. But he doesn't feel comfortable looking back, and then he hits him with the back shoulder. So, hey guys, man, this is your gracious host, Mr. VDB. I hope you guys took something from this teach tape today. I'm just try to be consistent with you guys. You know, come on here once a week, once every 2 weeks. But you guys, you got to do me a favor. Like the video. Share the video. Show it to your DB coach. Ask him what he thinks. Do I know what I'm talking about? Do I not know what I'm talking about? I played, high school football, played college football at the Division I level. So, this is what I was taught. Of course, the game is always changing. It's always evolving. But for the most part, guys, technique remains the same. Technique remains the same. Okay? So I want you guys to get out there again. Drill of the day, the tip of the day. When you go out on the field, you're putting in extra work. For some of you guys, it's the off season. I want you to set up 4 cones. Buy you 4 cones. and create a box. Buy you 4 cones. If you're looking at the screen right now, buy you 4 cones and create a box. Put one right here, one on the numbers, another one on numbers, and another one on the sideline. And all I want you to do is just shuffle. You start off your day shuffle, 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 shuffle. Okay? You want to develop muscle memory when it comes to shuffling. Okay? You're not going to get in the game and be thinking about Mr. VDB. You dig? That's going to be something you're going to have to put the repetition in on the field, create that muscle memory. So shuffle into the receiver. Okay, shuffling the receiver can be a difference between somebody getting a 30-yard completion on your head or you coming down with an interception, guys. And you know what we want to do. We ball hawks. We want to come down with the interception. But all in all, man, thank you guys for the love and support. Continue to do your film study. Like the video, share, subscribe. Let's get this video to 200 likes. Didn't get the last one to 200 likes. I think we had about 92 likes. But get it to 200 likes. Spread the word. And until next time, it's your gracious host, Mr. VDB. I'm out.